Today, I'm going to narrate to you the story of the magical monkey's paw. In a distant village in India, Major Morris, who was a part of the army, was walking through the dark alleys of the village of where he was stationed. In the corner, what caught his eye was a big fire blazing and the silhouette of a man. He thought he'd go and figure what that was. He walked slowly, and then he could hear the man say, "Humba, humba, humba, eh." And the fire grew bigger. Curious to see what was happening, he went further, and who was sitting there was a fakir who was dressed in a vermilion cloak and had his hair tied up in a big jata on top. Major Morris went further, and then he could hear the fakir say, "Humba, humba, humba, ye." And the fakir said, "Closer, child, closer. I know you're here." Major Morris was surprised, and then the fakir pulled out what looked like a monkey's paw. He said, "Here, I know you're someone who wants a better life. Take this monkey's paw. This is an offering to the god of fate. What this paw is it's going to offer you three wishes to three different men. But be very careful about what you wish for. For if you mess with fate, fate will take revenge, and you will have to face the consequences." Major Morris was kind of surprised. He did not believe in magic. So he simply took the paw and went back to his army. Over the years, Major Morris had experienced different things. He had made his three wishes, but you never know what those three wishes were. He refuses to speak of them because it changed his life completely. The man before Major Morris who had the paw, his last wish was the wish for death. He did not know what happened. So now there's one new person who could use the monkey's paw. Now, after 21 long years in the army, Major Morris was back in England. He planned to meet up with a friend, Adam. Adam lived in a small cottage in England. He lived with his wife Nancy and his son of 25 years old Herbert. So now in the small cottage on a cold winter night when the moon was shining bright, you could see Adam and Herbert next to the fire playing chess, while Nancy was in the corner setting up the table where she had chicken, mashed potatoes, bread, and some wine. While all of them waited for their guests to arrive, Adam and Herbert played chess. They looked intently to see who would make the next move. Hmm. Aha! Checkmate, said Herbert proudly. And Adam, furious, got up from his chair and said, "Ah, of course, this is impossible. You were cheating," he said to Herbert, and then moved to the table where Nancy was sitting. As they all waited for their guests to arrive, there was a knock on the door. Adam went to open the door, and as he opened it, there was a big figure standing. There was a gush of cold air. And as the silhouette walked into the room, light shone, and it was Major Morris. "Oh, Major Morris, how lovely to have you here. Please, please come in. It's been ages since we've met," he said. As Major Morris came in, he came with his upturned mustache, beady eyes and spectacles, and his big stout body, and sat on the chair. As he was sipping on wine and having some cheese, he spoke of his adventures in India. It had been a long time since he had met the family. He spoke about how he scaled the mountains and how he swam across the rivers and how he fought these big, big battles. Adam, curious, said, "Ah, that sounds so wonderful and like so much fun. What an adventure," he said. "I really wish I could go to India at least once." "Are you sure you want to go to India?" said Major Morris. "If you do go there, and there are certain villages that bring you certain stories that could change your life." Adam said, "Of course I want to go there. It sounds like something really fantastic." And then Major Morris slowly searched his pockets. What he pulled out was the furry black monkey's paw. He said, look at this monkey's paw." Robert snatched it from Major Morris's hand and he looked at it. What is this? This is really funny. And what are you doing holding a monkey's paw around?" he asked. It's no ordinary monkey's paw. It's a magical monkey's paw. It was given to me by a fakir in India. And we shouldn't really talk about it. Give it back. And as he took it back, he was just about to throw it in the fire, and Adam stopped him. You say magic. Of course, you're a man of reason. You don't believe in magic. But do tell us these stories. So Major Morris went ahead and started telling him that how the paw was a souvenir from India and it had three wishes for three different men. Two men had already taken the wishes, and there was one more left. But the wishes come at a cost. Listening to this, Adam was fascinated and wanted to actually give it a shot. Okay, okay, now tell me how do I actually use this if I want to use it? Major Morris said, simply hold it up and make the wish with your right hand. Adam, surprised and thinking it was a joke, just kept the paw aside. After a hearty meal, they all and Major Morris left for his train in the city. Now the family, Nancy, Herbert, and Adam, sat around the table looking at the monkey's paw. Hmm, should we give it a try? I mean, what could possibly happen, right? They all thought to each other. Then Adam picked it up. Hmm, what could I possibly wish for? Herbert suggested. Probably you could wish to become a king, or the ability to fly, or like riches and luxuries. Hmm, Adam wasn't convinced. He said, no, I have everything that I need. Another suggestion was that he could ask for £300 to pay off their rent. This seemed like a good idea. So Adam picked up the paw, raised it up in his right hand, took a deep breath. I wish for £300. And he dropped the paw. It moved, he said. Of course, Nancy and Herbert weren't buying it. What do you mean it moved? Of course, that's ridiculous, they said. No, it did. But what's more surprising is that do you see the £300 anywhere? Of course not, because it's all a big story. It's just a folk tale that he got from these distant lands. Thinking it's all a joke, they all went about their day and went back to sleep after dinner. Now, the next morning, Howard came downstairs and he saw Adam and Nancy sitting on the table, sipping their coffee and eating some toast. Oh, so did you get the £300? Did it magically show up from somewhere? Asked Herbert. What? There was no money anywhere. I mean, he said that if you do ask for something, it's going to come at a cost or it's going to harm you. I mean, what could possibly happen? £300 are going to drop on my head? I mean, that's not possible. We all sat together eating breakfast that morning, like every single morning. Then Howard took his satchel and went out of the house, saying, bye bye, mom and dad. I'm going to see you tonight. I'll get some bread and I'll get some wine if I'm lucky enough to find £300. And he left. Now, Mr. and Mrs. White, they went about their day, cooking, cleaning, working, and around 4 p.m., they were a little tired. So they took their jar of juice outside, they sat on the relaxing chairs, and they soaked the sun. While Nancy was knitting, Ada was simply reading a book. Then something caught Nancy's eyes. She said, "Hmm, there's a man coming towards us. Is it Herbert? Is it Herbert?" She asked. The man was wearing a black suit and he walked towards them, a little fidgety. As he walked towards Miss Nancy said, "Oh, who are you?" He said, "Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. You are the Whites, I presume. I am Andrew, and I come from your son's factory. I used to work with your son." "Oh, so you mean you're a friend of our son's? Please, please come over. You can have some juice. I guess Herbert might be somewhere around," she asked. "Well, ma'am, I'm sorry to tell you, but your son met in an accident." "An accident? Is he okay? What happened?" "Well, got caught in the machinery. And so, where is he? Should we go and get him?" "Well, ma'am, he was so badly injured that he died." Listening to this, Mr. and Mrs. White were shocked. They couldn't believe what they were hearing. Next, what Andrew said is the company does not take any responsibility for this. So we would like to offer you a compensation. He took out an envelope and handed it to Adam. Adam took the envelope and opened it. He asked, "How much is this?" Andrew said, £300. Now, the couple buried their son at a cemetery 2 hours away. When they came back to their empty house, which was once filled with laughter with their son, they sat there sad and glum. Now, Mrs. White was sobbing and crying at the loss of Herbert. And then suddenly it struck her. Of course, it's the monkey's paw, you see. We wished for £300 and it came at a huge price. The price was Herbert's death. You see, Lord, that we can actually wish for Herbert back. We do have two more wishes, said Mrs. White as she was crying and completely in pain. Mr. White was hesitant to use the monkey's paw then because he did not really see it as the wish, but more as a coincidence. Please, please, please give it one shot, asked Mrs. White, pleading. So Mr. White took up the monkey's paw, looked at it, and he was kind of hesitant, but he went ahead. Deep breath. I wish for my son to be alive. And he dropped the paw that moved in his hand. Now they waited. Nothing happened. It was complete silence. Next, this was around 12 a.m. in the night. They were all sleeping, and there was a knock on the door. She's not moving. Alarmed. It's Howard, it's Howard, she said. She tried to get out of bed and ran down. And Mr. White, he could join the dots. He could see that they made the wish 2 hours ago. And how far is the cemetery? 2 hours away. Worried to see what Mrs. White or Nancy would open the door to, he rushed down. But before he went down, he took the monkey's paw with him. And as he went down, Mrs. White rushed to the door, trying to open it, but it was completely shut and locked from the top with a latch. She tried to reach it, but she was too tiny. She jumped and she jumped. She said, Herbert, Herbert, my son, I'm going to come to you. Please wait for a moment. Herbert, I'm here. We're going to open the door in a minute. As Mr. White walked down, he could see his silhouette, a zombie like silhouette. He had crooked hands and crooked feet, and he knew it was Herbert. But did he want the door to open to such a creature who was dead? So what Mr. White did was he picked up the monkey's paw as Mrs. White at the door said, Herbert, give me a moment, I'm going to open it. Herbert, my son, I'm so happy you're back. I'm so happy you're back. And he picked up the paw and he said, I wish. And then as she opened the door, there was a gush of cold air. She walked out and it was complete silence. There was no one there. She ran out and searched to see if Herbert was anywhere. She could not see anything as far as an eye went. It was completely foggy that cold night. She walked back in, disappointed, hoping that Herbert would actually be back, as Mr. White stood near the fire, devastated, with the monkey's paw in his hand. She went to Mr. White. Oh, we do have one more wish, you see. Please, please, please wish for Herbert again, she asked. Mr. White took the monkey's paw, threw it into the fire. What are you doing? Why did you throw it? She asked. We have no more wishes, you see. We are out of our three wishes. And that was the story of the monkey's paw. And the gift that the monkey's paw left with the White's family was a life of sorrow as they tried to meddle with fate. Thank you.